Howdy, howdy, everyone. Welcome back. I'm back today after finally smelting copper in the last episode. Today, I don't really have much on my plans. Well, I guess I do have much on my plans. I just don't have a super solid plan of what will be happening. This episode will probably be very chores heavy, but we'll also see what might come up because over the course of recording the last two episodes, my plans have consistently changed. Last time, I left off by making the copper pickaxe and the copper hammer. Off camera, I did go through to all of my copper deposits that I had marked on the map, or where I found the copper bits, and I've mined up the deposits there. So I have quite a bit of copper chunks here that I'll need to process and then smelt. I want to make a bunch of copper tools, so I've made the molds for those, and then I also need to fill my anvil. Some other items on my little to-do list that I have some ideas on just kind of adding some new features to my little forging area. I want to also finish the inside of the house. It's on my list to make another little cellar. I also want to figure out a better storage solution. So we'll probably build a storehouse of some kind to help with all my storage, so that I don't have just a bunch of stuff on my floor. Or maybe I'll utilize the attic once I create the attic in here. I think I'm just going to get started by working on this copper. I have my charcoal from last time, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so with my copper spearheads, there was a ram, I think, that was hanging out around my farm, and I want to kill it so that I can make some stew. There it is. Oh my gosh. Nice, that was easy. Thank you, copper. Not as much food as I wanted it to be, but that's fine. You can rip up a handbasket with a knife and you'll get back cat tips. That's perfect. I've just been throwing them away to despawn, so that's gonna be amazing. Now that I knew that. Even though I'm done with handbaskets, I just made linen sacks, so it's gonna help a lot with our inventory. But such a cool thing. I'm glad I saw someone do that, so that I was able to try that out. For the anvil. There we go. We still have 600 units. So I want to do the prospecting pick. I want to do the axe. I want to do the shovel. I want to do another pick. Another hammer. And then I think I have enough for one more ingot. Yes, okay. Perfect. I forgot, I guess I had these 3 ingots. But now we just have to wait for my molds to all cool down, especially the anvil mold. I really like my forge that I've made, but I am looking to just expand it just slightly, just to make the forging area a little bit bigger. I'll bring it out about a block or so, but it's something I'm going to work on. And then I mentioned I would like to build some sort of storehouse. I also see a vision of having like a dock right here for fishing, with maybe a tower. that has a light on it. I guess you'd call it a lighthouse, so that I can find my settlement. But I also might make a tower over there on that little hill. I'll have to see for sure what I do. Maybe I'll just have 2 towers. I don't think that'd be very odd. But I also would like to build a wall just around my settlement so I don't have to worry about getting attacked by animals or monsters. So I think I'm going to work on just expanding this forge out just a little bit. My idea here is to expand this just enough so I can build just a little like chimney basically. And that's really just for aesthetic reasons. I think it'll look nice. But it will also just open up this floor plan just a little bit so it's not such a tight squeeze. There we go. We got the anvil. Okay. I want to put this all up. I want to bring the floor up with these half slabs because... and that's the reason why I want to put walls up. The idea with this wood piece right here is that you'll see in a lot of old forges the anvil being right on it. So that's what I'm going for, just kind of like this look of the anvil on the wood, on like the trunk, just to kind of create a base. So wanted to do that, and I think that looks kind of nice. Alright, so I have my copper spade and my copper axe, and then I made a prospecting pick and another pickaxe and hammer. I want to heat up these ingots so that I can make a chisel and also my saw, because that's going to help me tremendously with what I'm trying to create here. Let's start with the chisel. So yeah, me and my wife, we went out camping for our 1-year anniversary, and it was really nice. So I've been away and I haven't had much time to play. So why this video is going to take a little bit to get out to you guys, I just want to say, I guess while I'm making this, I really appreciate the support that you all have given me playing this game. I just enjoy playing it, and then I decided to record, and I really didn't think that anyone would watch, but it seems like there's quite a bit of you, and so everyone that shows up to my videos, watches, I really appreciate you. I did not anticipate even reaching like 5 subscribers or even 5 views, so just thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me to get videos out. I'll do my best. I have a lot coming up this next year in my personal life, so we'll see how much I can get out for you guys, but I just appreciate you being here. And as you can see, I'm kind of being an amateur right now with my what's it called, whatever I'm doing right now, hammering. I'm not being the most efficient with it. You also might notice that the colors are a little bit different from if you were doing this yourself. I changed the colors slightly so I can see them better. So I'm forgetting as I'm talking right now, but what we're doing is we're taking the copper ingots and creating items from it. So I just hammered out a chisel and also a copper saw blade. So these are two of the tools that you can make with ingots. While I wait for these tools that I just made, the chisel and the saw blade, to cool down, I also realized I forgot to mention that I added another mod. It's the HUD mod. So essentially it just adds a HUD right over here, the top left corner. It'll tell you the date, the time, the outside temperature and the season, what the rainfall in the area is like, what the wind is like, so that is different, and then the current rift activity. I've got this because I am very bad at checking my character sheet. I'm really bad at checking it, so I got this mod so that I can kind of always see it and keep track of what I'm doing, and also so that you as viewers can see where I am in the game at any time. So it's currently July 5th, year 0. It's 2 a.m. The sun's setting over, or the sun's rising over there. I'll mention the mod in the description if you're interested. But I also made a prospecting pick. Now that I'm in the Copper Age, I've pretty much reached the time and place where I currently sit in all my other saves. I mentioned in the first episode I haven't played for long, so the Copper Age is as far as I've really gotten with the time that I've had to play. I've never really prospected or used the prospecting pick, so that's something that we'll be doing. The prospecting pick is cool because it lets you know what ores might be nearby. Is that when you're first trying to find a certain ore, you'll want to use the density search mode as you go around the map until you can get a high percentage or anywhere close to that. And then once you find a high percentage, you'll want to go to the node search to find the exact area. So let me give you an example, 1 second. Alright, so I'll give an example, show you an example of that here. And this will be the first time I've used a prospecting pick. I believe you mine stone, and then it asks for 2 more samples. So I'll go here, and then maybe I'll go right here. I'm not sure if I need to go further apart, but we'll find out. It found 4 traces of ore. Oops. Found 4 traces of ore in this area. There's a decent bit of native copper, so about 15%. Very poor borax, which makes sense because I found borax close by. Very poor bismuthinite. That's actually good. And very poor cassiterite. And minuscule amounts of glina. Bismuthinite can be used as an alloy for bismuth bronze, so that's good for me if I want to move on to bronze. I've never seen this. The bismuth ingot looks sick. Okay, and then cassiterite is an alloy for tin bronze. So even though it's very poor, at least there is a reading. Me at the moment, I'm not trying to... This wolf. I think I need to kill it or something. But at the moment, I'm not trying to prospect. Later in this episode, I can get to it. Potentially. We'll see if that's this episode or next episode. Saw blade on top of a stick, and we make the copper saw. This is really helpful. Now we get to officially make planks. Let's see. Look at everything that you can make with your copper saw. You can make planks, beams, pathways, gear figureheads, a bunch of different things. Planks are super versatile. You can make the block, you can make roofs, you can make signs, racks, a chest. So we'll do that. We'll need to get some wood to do that. And then with the beams, we can use that to decorate. So that's going to be really nice. With the chisel, we can click on a block and you can adjust it. So if I go 4x4 on this claystone slab, I can make it shorter and chisel away at the stone, which is quite cool. Do that here. By right clicking, you can add back the material, or you can take it away by left clicking. So that's something I'm pretty excited to do. We'll get working on the rest of this forge, just to kind of make it a little bit more immersive for me, and the chisel is going to come in handy. I'm not sure yet if I like having the anvil up so high. I have to decide that. I might put pieces of stone up one more higher so that it's kind of is like just slightly up with it, because this might just be too high. We'll have to figure that out. Okay, let's put my hammer away, and we're going to take this axe and we're gonna get some wood. I'm gonna get pine. That's what I want to build the interior of my house with, but maybe I'll do oak. I'm debating between the two. I think both will look nice, but we'll see. My inventory is pretty full, so I'm not trying to get too much wood. I think I'm just gonna get a little bit of oak, and a little bit of pine. And then I'm going to make my chest, my first chest, so I can clear my inventory out. And then with the bits of pine and oak, I will determine if I want to, which one I want to use within the house. And before you cut down a pine tree, you want to double check that it doesn't have any resin on it, because resin is going to be used later in the game, I believe, for when I just start making like gears and making machines in a way. I'm going to need the resin. Resin grows on trees that are original to this, like the world generation, like the start of the world. If a tree has resin on it, it's only going to grow on that tree. If a tree does not have resin on it, then it won't grow there, so you can cut those ones down. So essentially, you don't want to cut down a tree that has resin on it, because then you miss out on having resin in the future from that tree, if that makes sense. I feel like I could have worded that much better. But anyways, we're gonna get this pine, and man, look how fast that's chopping. Thank you, copper axe. On a stone axe, I would have been here for another like 30 seconds. Alright, so now I have the wood. What we can do with the copper saw, we can get boards out of it. So I was calling these planks, but they're boards. And with these boards, I'll take all of them. And then where's my oak? Let's do 36 of that as well. With my boards, you can then make planks out of it. I think I want to do slabs. So that's just 2. Let's do a couple. We'll do 4. And then we'll do 4 of oak and pine slabs. We'll put them on either side of the room, and I'll determine which I prefer. I think that is the best way to go about it. Another thing with slabs in this game is that they can be placed vertically and horizontally. Okay, and I did the same thing. And if you are tired of that happening, then you can put them in the inventory and they can be placed only vertically or horizontally, which is what I want. So I am partial to pine. I'll say that. I just like the warmth that it brings. I think, so the oak really blends in. I mean, you can't really see the floors because they're covered in just all my stuff. But the oak blends in heavily with the daub, which could be nice. Whereas the pine has like, it just has a warmth to it that I really enjoy. I feel like with these aged claystone blocks, it looks really good. Maybe I need to put more in to figure it out. I'll pick it like this. That kind of makes it look like you can see the roof. Okay, so imagine the roofs. Just look at the top, and you can see the pine and the oak with the daub. I think I prefer the pine. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Let's fill it out a little bit more. Yeah, I think I like it with the clay stone. Once the floors are cleared off, I think I like it. The pine. And I think the oak just blends in too much. And I want there to feel like there's warmth in the house because the golden brown daub is so dull that it'd be nice to have this warmth come from the pine. And then maybe eventually, as I expand the house out, maybe we might switch it up. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, since I decided I'll do pine, I'll make a door. And now the house is a home. But really, because the door is here and it's enclosed, I think it's considered a room. Actually, it's not considered a room because there's, is it considered a room up here? I don't know. Can I not get up? I have to close it and then I can get up? Okay, that's weird. Okay, so up here is considered a room. Look, which is pretty cool. So I don't even need a cellar. I can have everything up here. Okay. Look at that wolf. And now it's by all my spears. Alright, that's good. Very good, I guess. Someone left a comment saying that the charcoal pit, you actually don't need to... You don't need to light the charcoal pit from the very top, this block. You can light it at the same level. So thank you for explaining that. I'll try it again next time, but if the roof is bothering me, I'll just try it again later, because what I was doing before was messing around here with this roof to put the charcoal fire, the fire for the charcoal pit, in this block. I was putting the fire right here, but they said that I can put it down further with the wood, like put it in the wood. So I'll have to try that out to see if that works well for my roof that I'm built here. I also had someone else comment. Thanks to everyone who has been commenting, just leaving nice comments, but also helpful tips. I had asked, how can we tell if a body of water is freshwater or saltwater? And someone said that if the floor is gravel, then it should be freshwater. And if the floor is sand, then it should be seawater or saltwater. And so this is muddy gravel, so I'm going to say that this is a fresh body of water, a really big lake, which is pretty exciting. Or at least it's just exciting because now I know I can use this water for any of my water needs, and that it's not seawater, so that's good to know. So thank you for commenting that. I'm going to try not to wake this wolf up, but I'm going to try to get my spears back. This could end badly. Oh, that was weird. It didn't come after me. Okay, this could go bad. I think that's the trick. Get them when they're in the water, and then go below them. Nice. I'm so glad I didn't die. See, like, I'd like to have a chimney that goes all the way up so that the smoke doesn't gather here. And I know, I think there's a mod that's like realistic smoke, and I'm not sure if it's worth it. Like, from like just the aesthetic point, I don't know if I'd want it for like the pain points of like getting what is it, asphyxiation, or you know, when you can't breathe from smoke. I don't know if it would be worth it, but it might be nice so that the smoke, so that I can actually build a chimney and this doesn't gather. Unless if I build a chimney anyways, maybe it won't gather. I don't know. We'll see. Since I don't have any storage, well, I don't have a lot of storage, is I need to build chests. And to build chests, well, I'm gonna build a wooden trunk, but I have to build a chest first. And to build chests, you need nails and strips, which you need to smith out of copper ingots. So I'm heating these ingots up to make the nails and strips, and I'll do that here. And I'll test this. I'll test to see if I like having my anvil up high like this. Again, I'm not sure. I'll have to mess around to see what I like. I don't think I can put the anvil on a slab. Let's see. No, you have to put it on the ground. I think I just like the aesthetic, like the aesthetics of it, but I don't know if the aesthetics are worth it. Okay. Put my tongs on. Nails and strips. Yeah, like this might get a little irritating. We'll see. I'm gonna do I think, heavy hit. Down. Yeah, the thing is I can't like see the bottom. So with smithing, this is kind of just what you do. You just hit the voxels into the little... It's like a little mini game in a way. Hit the voxels down into what you see on my screen is yellow, but on I think anyone else's screen, you can change the color. I think it might be black. And so the copper is kind of cooling down a little bit, but that's okay, I think. I think I can get most of it done. I don't know if I'm smithing the most efficiently. No, it's cooled down. Okay. I need to put more coal. I don't think I need that much coal, but whatever, I guess. I only really know smithing in this early stage of copper, but you need to heat up the metal when you work with it, because obviously the metal needs to be at a temperature that makes it malleable. So you need to heat the metal up, and then if the metal cools while on the anvil, you need to heat it up again. So that's just what I'm doing here. The smithing can kind of be, I wouldn't necessarily say therapeutic, but slightly mindless, especially when it gets repetitive, of like you're making the same thing over and over again. And is what we've been hearing for like the past however long, are those cicadas? Because I think it's kind of a fun touch, but it does get a little annoying after some time. Oh, but look at that, you can see the stars under the clouds. Looks like it's almost a full moon. Alright, and now I need to split the metal, so this takes off all the extra voxels. You want to be really careful when you do this, because if you move the mouse before it hits, it will hit wherever your mouse is, so you can accidentally end up splitting one of these pieces that you already have got set in the little, like, the grid or the pattern. Okay, I have 8 nails and strips. It's kind of, it feels like that's a glitch for them to all just show up in one stack like that. It's funny, delivery driver just dropped off a package, knocked on my door. Kind of scared me a little bit, because no one knocks on my door. And it was a package from my mom. A little gift for me and my wife for our anniversary, which I thought was very sweet. Okay. So I put those slabs there, and right now we'll just stick with dirt in here, and I'll eventually replace it with stone. Keep the storage vessel here. Now will be easy access. But actually, hold on, let's test. You can see right here in the corner that it's a room, the top left corner. So this works. I'm gonna move it right here though. There we go. I'll leave my candles in here so there's light. I kind of do want to kill some of these guys because I really badly want a temporal gear. One at a time. That's how I like to do it. Okay, you guys are all like, you want to come in, you want the smoke until you don't, huh? Come in then. Is there one of those crazies up here? No. One. Come on, why don't you guys come in? I like when they fight each other. It's my favorite thing that happens in games. They start fighting each other. Okay, yes, I got a Alright, I got a temporal gear. Can be shattered to create a returning point. Can be used with a knife to restore temporal stability with some pain involved. Shivering, yet somehow sturdy. Seems to endlessly churn a constant level of inertia, even when resisted. Okay, I'm gonna use that because I don't want to have to return to a spawn point so far away. Let's see. I'm assuming it worked. Hey, stop being so mean. Oh, I died. Well, that's okay, because I should spawn right here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because of temporal gear. Or flax. Oh, that's right. Someone, because I asked if these arrows, the bone arrows that are shown right here, I asked if what they do, because I never knew what they do. Because bone arrows are dropped by the bowtorns, and I typically would just throw them out. But you can actually use them with a bow. See, I don't think I've ever used a bow in the game, so that's why I didn't know or ever try. But that's good to know now. So it's just it's just now another thing for me to hoard, I guess. Which is cool. So thank you to who told me that. Yeah, I think that's bothering me. So the flooring is bothering me because I can't put anything on it. Like it floats is what I mean. So I'll change that. These bowls. Okay, so now everything is inside my home at least. Anything that I need is inside. Now the room feels much cleaner. I've tidied up, I can say. We'll leave the kitchen as is for now. I'm gonna need to just fix this. Might be that the house is just too small and I need to expand, but I kind of just like my silly house. Yeah, the anvil just doesn't really make sense to have it up here. Doesn't work as well as I thought it would. But what I can do, because I just like the look of the wood with the anvil. Yeah, just because I like the look of the wood. I will have to work with that, because it would be nice to have... It would be really nice to have the wood protrude just a little bit up above the anvil. But you have to put the anvil down on a full block, which is slightly annoying. So I found tin. This is really exciting. I've actually never found tin in the wild before. And look at this ruin. Yeah, we're gonna check that out right now. Okay, well anyways, I will have to come back here to probably loot this area, but I want to check it out. Because I've never seen a ruin this big before. Got bony soil. Oh, and a cracked vessel. Quite spectacular. Whoa. It's like some sort of cathedral type building. Aged oak. More bony soil. I have bony soil in my inventory, so I'll take that. I'm gonna have to come back to really explore this for this. Okay, you know what? I just realized we have the pickaxe, so I'm going to get that tin that I found. Hopefully... Oh, and there's a bunch of copper here. Oh, there's a big bear. Alright, I gotta head back home because I don't have any space in my inventory. Yeah, this is really cool. It almost looks like these could have been maybe aqueducts or some sort of road. I'll have to explore it a little bit more and come back for that tin. Okay, I am back from my little adventure where we just gathered a bunch of seeds, basically. Gathered a bunch of seeds. We hunted some animals, not really a lot, and we found some ruins, so I gotta go back to those. But before I do that, I want to plant these cuttings that I got before I forget. I'm trying to think of where would be a good place to plant them, like somewhere where I might not be building soon. And might be a good place back here. Yeah, like back behind my house. Okay, planted my cuttings. I have pears and 2 yellow apple. A bunch of pears. I've actually never grown fruit trees before, so we'll see how that goes. And then let's go down here, because I found more copper that I need to continue mining out, actually. Found some silver, so I'll put that there. And then I also found cassiterite. When I was out by the ruin, there was tin deposits. So I have tin. That's the fastest I've ever found tin, actually. like I said, I haven't played a lot. So my other worlds, I'm getting to like winter, and I still hadn't found tin, but I found it there. So that's really exciting. The game kind of just keeps rewarding me, it seems like, when I don't really have any plans to go to the Bronze Age just yet, but I can now if I want. Yeah, we're gonna make berry stew. Meat, blueberries, and parsnips. Sounds amazing. But my house, small. That's fine for now. I'm really fine with that, but I want to expand it, and I'm trying to decide on if I want this bit to be in the front or in the back of the house. I have some space up here, because essentially I've just converted this part of my house, like current house. I wouldn't convert it, I would add on to it. So this might be like a sunroom, might be one room in the house of the bigger house that gets added on. So I'm gonna think about it. I know that I want to add like a longer bit that juts out just a bit. Longer bit that comes out maybe to like here. One, two, three, four, 5. Maybe there, 6. I might have to do multiple add-ons. So to there. Well, maybe I don't bring it out as much. This is the back part of the house. Maybe I just bring it out to like 3 more blocks. Bring that out, just 3 more blocks to kind of create. I'll have like a patio back area. Because I'm gonna have like this orchard, maybe bushes and stuff. Maybe my apiary will be back here. And then I think I want this to be the back part of the house. And I'll add a new facade, a new front. Not too much, but we'll see. Let's dig a hole right here. Because I can put water in there and it'll stay. Be like infinite water source. Which is really cool about this game. Just makes it easier. You have to work so hard for the bucket anyways that I think it's absolutely fine. Oops. That the water is infinite once you place it. Look at that sunset. But that sunset's really nice. And I water my garden. I messed up right here. But it's fine. Once the fennel grows, I'll just replace that, I guess. Wow, it's just really nice here. It's funny, I like the game that you can't overwater your crops, because that's a really big issue that I have in my garden. It's been a really hot summer the last couple of weeks, and so I thought my crops would need, my home garden would need more water, but it actually doesn't. But anyway, that's a really nice sunset in the game. It's always a pleasure when you get to enjoy that in the game. Have a moment of kind of quiet. You're farming, you look up and the sun's setting. And I guess I'll just take this moment. I think if I said it before, I'll just say it again. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Anyone that's watching, anyone that has commented, gave me some helpful tips, anyone that subscribed, thank you. I just checked this weekend, and I hit 100 subscribers, and I think that's pretty wild. So just thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. I decided to make bronze because might as well. I'm gonna make 4 ingots of bronze. I'll just make the ingots, but then I'm gonna use some copper, make some copper ingots, I think. I'm not sure how much coal this will take. I'm gonna cover this up so that it doesn't burn out. Covering this up so it doesn't burn out if the rain starts to occur. Alright, we got our first bronze ingots. That's really sick. Again, I've never had bronze ingots before. I need to build... I'm currently firing oil lamp flower pot crucible, and a storage vessel. And I want to make, I think I want to make shingles. Oh, I think I do. And then more clay ingot molds. Now, is it okay? Can you do different types of wood? No, it has to be the same. I have to get more peat. I also need to organize my storage, but honestly, I cannot even be bothered to do that. Let's see, where's the nearest peat? 40% survival chance, 40%, 40, 40, 40. Okay, they all have a 40%. Establishing. Alright, this will be fun to see how this all works, because I've never done that before with the fruit trees. Peat. Got some berries. Some of those. I need more vegetables and grain in my diet. Heavy bear. Wait a second. Let's take some cutting of that. How about these guys? Ripe duration. Let's take these cuttings. These are some good ones. What about these? It's fine. It's a boar over there. Thick-skinned fruit. Speed. Just nothing really exciting out of these guys. There's peat. Not a... Well, maybe there's more. Yeah, there's fine. There's plenty of peat. Man, the copper shovel is so nice. What's the durability on it? 400. Nice. Okay. I think that's enough peat. Light this sucker. We did chores because that's what you have to do in the game. I'm just putting stuff here. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with my little smithing area, with my blacksmith area, but this is the start. I have a lot of things firing, some shingles, some molds and whatnot, so when I come back those should all be set. And we're gonna head back to where I found the ruin. So we're right here. Gonna head back this way to the ruin. I'll probably cross the lake, and I want to go to these quartz bits because I need to find clear quartz because I want to make a lantern. So we'll head over there, and then we're going to get all the crack vessels. I'm going to try not to get any seeds. I'll just mark them. I'm not going to try to forage anything on my way there. My goal is to get the quartz and to get the crack vessels, and then also to get the rest of the copper and the tin. And when I'm over there, I want to use my prospecting pick to see what it picks up. So we'll head over there. I think what eventually will be cool to have, build a little dock and have a little raft so I can just easily get over there without having to swim, but I'll swim for now. I made a coffee for myself earlier. I kind of forgot about it, but it's a little yummy. Just some brown sugar, double shot of espresso, some soy milk. What is that? Oops. It's a fox. 2 foxes. That's fun. It's this game, every single time I play it, there's just things that are just so fun. Like, these foxes are just going about their business. Where are they going? I don't know. I haven't interacted with those foxes, but they're just doing their own thing, and that's fun. It makes the world feel alive. I think I saw someone say once that the one thing that they wish the game had to make it feel more alive is like birds, and that would be really cool. Have birds fly around, even like just small birds, like how the butterflies are there. I know the butterflies are there as kind of like a nod to the creators, I think, first Minecraft mod, I think. But it'd be cool if they did something similar, but just small birds. Like, just like maybe songbirds, and you hear them tweeting and you see them fly from branch to branch. And then it'd be really cool if you could make like a bird feeder or birdhouse, put that like in your garden. I just think that'd be really cool. Mostly I think that because I have a bunch of bird feeders in my backyard, and it's really fun to watch the birds. You know, birds eat, the hummingbirds especially. Those are really fun to watch. They're zipping around. They're like, the sounds they make, man, it's just, when I watch the birds, it's a reminder of like, we are not, see that butterfly, it almost looked like a bird. Watching birds is just a reminder of how much there is around us in a way. Like, you know, humans, we're not the only ones on Earth. I don't know, I like watching birds. I'm not into bird watching per se. I'm not really good at knowing what bird is what. I've gotten decent at it, so my wife is pretty into it, but I'm not the best. I have a hard time memorizing like certain facts about birds. But one day, I'm sure I'll get really into it. Okay, we gotta go this way to get to the quartz. One day I'll... Oh my gosh, a bear. Well, let's run from the bear, and hopefully it doesn't make us run past the quartz. And there's a wolf. Great, 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 great. Okay, I think coast is... Nope. Forest, man. Unforgiving in this game. Here we go. Sway bite. All these sway bite bits. Oh shoot, man. And a bear. Oh my gosh. We're coming. Oh my gosh. I didn't want that to happen. Oh gosh, I don't want to die. Just running. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh, and there's another bear. This is great. I think this is great. I think there's nothing wrong happening at all. Maybe the bears will fight each other, like the monsters did earlier. Oh my god. Oh, that was scary. This bear's not giving up. I just need this bear to give up. Right when you think you're safe in this game, Vintage Story says no. No. I'm gonna send bears at you. I'll send wolves at you. I'll send freaky monsters at you that throw stones. Okay. I think the bear's gone. I don't think the bear's down there. I guess, yeah, we gotta get medium fertility soil anyways, but I wanted to see if there was, like, anything below these ruins. But if you couldn't tell, we're back at the big ruins, and I got chased by the bear, so that was fun. I'm not sure how to tell. Oh, a handbasket. Well, I don't need that, so I can cut that open. I don't know how to tell if there is a basement or not. So if you guys happen to know if there's a certain way to, like, tell if a ruin has a basement, I would love to know. This ruin, this part I want to climb up, so there's paths up here. And so, like, was this a pathway? Is there something underneath it? Kind of feels like there could be. Maybe it's just all granite cobblestone. Yeah, I think it just is. Here's another vessel. What seeds? Spelt. That's cool. Let's get this aged polished rock. I'm curious to also know what your guys' way of exploring ruins is. Do you have a certain method? Do you just, like, explore, do what I'm doing, just kind of dig around, see what's there? At times I found caves, not caves, basements in ruins. They kind of show up, like, they're not further down than stone. This is enclosed. Oh. Oh my gosh. Humanoid. Oh, they've died or they're buried here. Oh. It's kind of sad. Oh. What's going on here? An aged old... Oh, and a torch holder. Okay, well, I found a basement. Okay, let me clear up my inventory a little bit. What's in here? Whoa, merchant bracelet. The Hanseatic League, with their merchant navies, offered their services to charter and transport an incredible amount of goods, materials, and refugees. It was a monumental effort of logistics, something only they could pull off. An acrobat hairpin. Whoa, let's put this stuff on. Whoa! Okay. Hold on. Okay. So that was a room. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. I don't want to spend too much getting time. I don't want to spend too much time getting copper. This ruin, the ruin is just sick. So let's go back where that quartz was and see if we can get more of it, and then head back home. And let's hope that we don't get attacked by a bear or a wolf or multiple bears. Alright, we're back. Quick recap. At that ruin, there was a really big copper deposit that I just didn't have enough space in my inventory to go at it all at once, so I'll just keep going back there. But I got all the tin, the cassiterite, 16 chunks, poor chunks. There's some swavite, I have some clear quartz and some quartz chunks. And then I found some seeds and some bony soil and some stone paths. I also found this owl chest, which is cool. Put some prized possessions there, and I found a torch holder, which I'm going to put here for now, because the torch holder, I believe, lets your torch just stay lit indefinitely, because typically the torch lasts 48 hours, so that is nice. What is? I've have my own copper lanterns. Oh my god, I forgot I have this thing on my head still. Oh my god, I love this little acrobat hairpin. That's so funny. I have my copper lantern. So fun. It's so bright. I'm very impressed. I'm not sure if you heard any of what I just said, but I made a granite quern. I had the microphone away from my mouth, and I kind of forgot. So I'll just put the quern down here. Yeah. And the flint is getting calcined down here. I made the mistake of not putting in enough charcoal, and I went away to go get my granite, and nothing happened. It all just burned and did not calcine or whatever, so that was kind of annoying, but you learn from your mistakes. Bit of a waste of charcoal. I'll keep checking on this. What I want to do is work on my fireplace. I think what I'm gonna do is make, well, I'm gonna take the wattle that's out right here, and essentially, I'm just trying to think of how I want to do it. I'm gonna make like the chimney out of the daub, I think. I don't know if that's like realistic. So I could do stone. So I want to make the chimney. I want to make the fireplace right here and have it be accessible on both sides. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. It might be a better idea to do it on this back side. I think really like the issue is just that I want to... The bedroom one doesn't need to be that big. So maybe we'll replace that. I began to work on my interior of the house, and because I think a lot while I build, my dialogue wasn't that great, so I'm doing a voiceover. But what you can see right now is I'm trying to figure out how I want to have the kitchen and where I want the fireplace to be. I was initially debating on putting it on the center wall, but I opted to add stone to the outside and make a more traditional fireplace. So I'm placing the stone blocks there, and then here on the inside I am preparing to chisel out the fireplace. So I added some stone to the top. I took a break to decorate, adding some new fresh tables because I plan on adding a oven to my left, right to that left of that new table. And just again preparing for a clay oven. Or before this process, I went and got a bunch of flint, and so I was calcining the flint in my kiln outside. And here you see me adding in cobblestone slabs through the chisel method. So the cool thing with chisels is that you can add slabs that you would like to work with in the same block or within a different block. So that's what I was doing. I was adding those slabs to half of the wattle and daub block. Now I'm carving out the chimney. Just some nice little chisel work. Here I am adding the hollow of the chimney. So I started from the inside and then eventually I go out to the outside to finish that. And then I added a nice little arch to my fireplace. With chiseling, it's kind of therapeutic, especially when you get into a groove. But there's there always is the struggle with chiseling of knowing when to stop. So I'm kind of just adding, actually I'm taking away bits and I'm going smaller and smaller to really detail out the fireplace here. And so I made the arch be very subtle. You know, I didn't want it to be super harsh with the bigger block types, like, you know, the 1x1. That's what I was doing with that. That's what I was going for. Here I am hollowing out the chimney from the top. I'm not sure if smoke actually comes out or will come out of the chimney, but that's alright. This is mostly for immersion and just for the fun of the game, you know? And I'm just finishing up the back of the chimney, adding in some more blocks, taking some blocks away. And then I decided to start grinding up my calcined flint so that I can build my clay oven. So I had to make fire clay, which I'm doing now. And then I decided to make my clay oven. Once my oven's all done, I'll get to bake pies, something that I really enjoy doing. And the funny thing is, at the time of making my clay oven in the game, my wife was actually baking a pie in the kitchen. So I'm not sure if you'll hear it in the audio, but you might hear some timers go off or some kitchen noises. It's because I film in the living room. I film in the living room and she was cooking in the kitchen, so you might hear a little bit of that background noise, which is actually kind of fun. It's a little bit more immersive that way. Let's light my oven. Light the oven so we can make some pies. Knife. And for this one, I'll do that. Yes. Yay. And the cool thing when you bake food in the game is you can see it rise. You see it? It's like lifting up, cooking, see it get darker. I think that's really fun. And I'll do that design next. Oh, pie is baked. Put that on the ground. And let's do that design next. That is the cool thing, is that the pies can just chill. 28 days. Fresh for 28 days. That's so sick. Bake, 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 bake. Oh, it's baked. Fresh for 25 days up here. Not too bad. Let's try it. The red currant pie. Pretty good. Not too bad. There we go. I burnt it. The chard, I think it was satiation, but it does stay fresh longer, which is not a horrible thing. Alright folks, I think I'm gonna call this an episode. We've done a lot of chores. I haven't finished my my upgrade to my smithing area, but we have added, you know, chests and everything and made some molds, so that's gonna be very helpful. As a little bit of a recap today, we went to some ruins and we found tin along the way, so I made some bronze ingots, which is really exciting. Made some clay shingles. We'll be messing around with those next episode. We have a bunch of cassiterite and copper, so I can continue to make some bronze. And then I kind of finished up the house. I've been procrastinating that. Filled in all the daub. A temporal storm is about to approach, so just trying to finish this before that begins. I added more to my farm. You can see it kind of terraces down. And then in my house, I've put in the attic with all my storage that I still need to organize and kind of figure out how I want to fill this in so that these items don't float anymore. And I made my kitchen. Kitchen is still kind of in progress just because of these beams. I messed them up. But I just don't have it within me right now to fix it because it's not that big of a deal. And I also made a makeshift cellar. Planted my tree cuttings, so hopefully make an orchard, so we'll see if those grow in. But a temporal storm is about to hit, so I think I'm going to call it. Thanks again for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you who made it here, who was here, who's commenting, anything like that. Thank you again. And I hope you guys enjoyed this much more laid-back episode of just doing some chores around Vintage Story. Y'all have a good day.